What's going on, guys? Welcome to Ride Pro. Today we are building this Can-Am Renegade. Grab your instruction booklet and I'm going to show you step by step how to build this Can-Am from Big Toys Direct the proper way. All right, we got our little helper here and we're gonna rip the box open, unbox it, and put it together. So let's jump right in. All right, so the first thing that we like to do is get everything out of the box and lay everything out on the floor just so we can find what we're looking for. We see all the parts and we know what we need as we're following our instructions. Here. This seat is actually nicer than the one on my quad. So we got all of our parts laid out so we can see where everything is. And the next thing we're doing is jumping into the instructions. And the first thing that we're gonna mount up is the front bumper. For assembly, you will need a Phillips screwdriver. I will be using a drill. You also need the two included wrenches that come with your ride-on. A 10mm wrench and something to clip zip ties with. For my purpose, I'm gonna be using a drill with a Phillips attachment to it. As far as the drill goes, you wanna make sure that if you are using one, set it on the lowest setting and don't over tighten the bolt so you don't strip out the plastic. All right, so I got my bag of hardware and we have the ATV sitting upside down on the box, kind of makes it easier to work on it. And we are gonna grab 4 screws.
How much you need?
We need 4 of them.
What?
Ready?
Where'd they go?
Next, we're gonna grab the bumper and there's a little tab in here that slides right into the front over here. So this uses 4 screws and then 2 more go in the very front over here. And the front bumper is on. Next step is to adjust the front here as it comes zip tied while shipped, and then also we're gonna attach the steering mechanism in the front over here. This is the 4-wheel drive model. It's pretty similar on the 2-wheel drive as well. Clipping the zip ties out of there. Then right here on the bottom, we're gonna wanna remove this little screw with a nut. So we're gonna use a 10mm wrench and the Phillips to loosen that up. Then we're gonna take this out. We're gonna put the steering knuckle on top and the link on the bottom. Now, the way they have it set up here with this motor, it's kind of hard to put that bolt back in the way that it was. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in through the bottom and I'm gonna put the nut on top in this situation because here we're able to still use the wrench on top and we can still access the bottom to tighten it up. You don't want this extremely tight, just so that it still moves completely freely. There's some play in it. As long as we have free movement, we are in good shape. All right, so the wheels are different. This is the front wheel, this is the back wheel. As you see, the back wheel has a gear attached to it. And the reason is, this is for the 2-wheel drive model, but since ours is a 4-wheel drive model, they do include the gears to add right here for the front. We're gonna use 4 of these screws to attach the gear. All right, now that we have the gears installed on our front wheels, we're gonna go ahead and install the front wheels. We're gonna use one of the included wrenches that comes with the car, and we're gonna take off the nut. Next, we're gonna install the wheel and make sure that the gear goes into the gearbox. Just like that. Then once you have the wheel on, you need to make sure that you put on a washer and you install the nylon nut. And then we're gonna use the included wrench to go ahead and tighten this up. So I like to go hand tight and then back off a quarter turn. Do the same thing to the other side. Oh, you're not stayed inside. Okay, that's good. Now back up a little bit. Perfect. Good.
There is tabs on this wheel right here.
You line up the tabs and you put it on the wheel, right? That's our wheel covers. Okay. And then they should clip right in.
You got one even more so it can more like the other side.
Now we're gonna do the other side.
The same thing.
Same thing. We're gonna line up the tabs. And our wheel covers are installed. All right, so the next step is you're gonna grab your rear axle, and this has the steering stem on it. It is zip tied together. We're gonna clip that off. We're gonna save our axle for the back. And we're gonna use the steering stem. Make sure you take off the nut off of it, and you can use one of the included wrenches, which makes it a lot easier. Next, we're gonna slide the steering stem into this hole right here, and we're just gonna line it up with our steering linkage just like that. All right, so we do have 2 tabs on the steering stem, and we also have a spot for those tabs to go in. You could just turn that just to line it up. Slide that in and make sure those 2 little tabs go into that little white piece with the cutouts. So you have a little hole on the steering stem right here. We're gonna grab a smaller washer, put that on, and we're gonna grab our little pin. Put the pin through with the washer, and you're gonna wanna bend the sides of that pin so it stays on there. Now you can use pliers or you can use your cutters, whatever you may want to do if you're not able to do it with your hands. What I like to do is wrap it all the way around, just like that. All right, so next is the rear bumper on the rear, and this is held on by 8 screws. You also have wires for the lights that you have to put through before you mount it up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide these connectors through the hole in the back right here. We wanna make sure that we tuck the wires underneath the plastic bumper right here and out of the way so they're not pinched as well. And then I have the 2 screws already kind of pre-installed there to kind of help me out. The back bumper is now on. All right, so we're moving to the back of the car. We're gonna grab the axle and we are gonna remove one of the nuts off of it from one side, and we're gonna move the other one from the other side. You wanna take that one off? and hold this one. We're gonna slide this through the quad, just like that. Next step, we have the gearboxes with the motors, and we wanna make sure that we install these in the right locations. And the way you do that is fairly simple. So you have a marking here in the plastic that says L. There's also a sticker here that says L, and you're looking for the gearbox that says L on it. First, what we're gonna do is we're gonna connect the wires, make sure it clips in. Next, we're gonna slide it onto the axle. Make sure those wires go inside the hole over here. And the motor slides into the hole as well. And it should be pretty much entirely flush once it goes in. This is the right side. Clip it in. Slide the wire in, and make sure the whole mechanism. So we want to make sure we center our axle once we have both of the gearboxes on, after checking to make sure that we have the right sides and the left sides installed correctly according to the markings.
Delivery.
Thank you for the delivery. We have the delivery of the back wheel. You could do the other wheel. Slide it into the gear, and you want to make sure that the gear is actually engaged and it's in there. Gonna do the other side. And make sure it's engaged, just like that. Hold on, we're forgetting something. What are you forgetting? You're forgetting a washer. All right, put the washer on. And turn the nut around. Make sure that the nylon part is on the outside. You want to turn this around. Make sure that the blue nylon part is on the outside. Okay. Hold on. I'll help you. We're just gonna put it on here finger tight. And now do the same thing to the other side. Grab another washer. The washer goes on first. And then the blue part of the nylon nut goes on the outside. Now we have to tighten them with both of the included wrenches from both sides simultaneously. Got it? Watch your fingers. Now we're installing the back wheel covers. Do the other side. There we go. Now we're gonna go ahead and flip it. All right, so next we're gonna do the handlebars, and we're gonna go ahead and install the handlebars right through onto the steering stem, just like that. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna install the smaller washer. Then we're gonna install this black spring washer. And then we're gonna install the nylon nut. Now, if you don't have, as in my case right now, if you don't have enough threads to thread that on, what you can do is push that steering stem slightly up from the bottom. And that should give you just enough. And we're using the plastic wrench to tighten it. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna install this little BRP cap. Now in the instructions, it kind of gives you info about dash with MP3 player and without MP3 player. So the MP3 player is actually right here, and this plastic cover is just the plastic cover without it. So we're gonna line up those tabs and just clip it in. So the next step is to get all your wires connected, and it's very simple. I know there's a lot of wiring here, but it's actually not complicated at all. These two blue connectors are the ones for the rear taillights that we push through that hole in the back. And what we're gonna do is just take the blue connector and connect it to these white connectors right here. And that's pretty much as simple as it gets. I'm gonna tuck those down there because we don't need those anymore. Next step is grabbing the wires from the battery, which is a white connector, just hooks up to the box right here. Now before we install the seat, we're gonna go ahead and make sure that everything works. We're gonna make sure, we're gonna put it into forward and press the pedal just for a second to make sure that our gearboxes are moving in the right direction. And they are. If you put it in forward and you press the pedal and it moves backwards, that means that you have your sides mixed up for the gearboxes. Making sure that all of our lights work, making sure the headlights work, so we have it going in the right direction. And the final step now is to put on the seat. So there is a harness for the seat, but we're not gonna use the harness, so I'm just gonna go ahead and toss that on the inside. And then you can use a flathead screwdriver or a quarter to lock the seat in place. And that is it. Now, if you have some leftover hardware, don't panic. These are spares. And what I like to do is take the charger out of the box, drop the spares in there, and save that just in case I need them for a later time. If we lose a screw or a nut or something like that, we can go back to our box and grab a replacement. So the charging port is hidden very well right here. This would be the primary cover. You can go ahead and plug it in. It will kill the car. When you're charging, you will have a red light here. Once it's done charging, the light will turn green on the actual charger itself right there. Another thing I like to do is I like to write 24 volts or put some tape on this actual charger because it does look just like the rest of them. Some of them are 12 volt, and you want to make sure that you're charging this car at 24 volts. Now before you take it out for the first time, you want to make sure that you charge it up fully, and that is basically it. You are done with the build and you are ready to roll as soon as it's charged up. Let's go over some of the basics. You have your two-wheel drive, your four-wheel drive, your low speed, and your high speed. You have the light switch right here. You also have an MP3 player here. Overall, the operation is pretty simple. All you gotta do is turn it on, and you have your reverse and your forward and your gas pedal right here. And the only thing you have to worry about is charging it up, as the gas cap is fake and you really can't put any fuel in here. Other than that, super simple to use, looks awesome, and it's ready to go for your kid. I wanna thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys find this video helpful. If you did, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button for future reviews and build videos, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later.